Low Light with Sniper's Hide here. I want to talk about a question that comes up about every 2 weeks on the Sniper's Hide forum, and that's in regard to the Accuracy International and their triggers. A lot of people getting the rifles for the first time. I mean, after all, the AI is the holy grail of sniper rifles. And with the new quick lock that allows people to change barrels with just a single Allen key, it's a real desirable platform. However, it is still a military sniper rifle, so the trigger is not what people are used to. Oh, first off, what it's not. It's not a single stage trigger. It is a two-stage trigger. It has the first stage comes to a wall, and then it'll come back to the second stage and break. As well, so it's not a jewel. It's not a Geisley match trigger for your AR. There's no hammer here. Sear engagement's important. When you see rifles where guys run the bolt fast or different things that happen with either the firing pin dropping or not cocking, that's usually a misaligned trigger. And throughout my 12 years with Accuracy International and shooting these rifles, the majority of the time I've ever seen an issue is when some end user tries to wrench on the trigger and misadjusts it, and then it doesn't work anymore and has to go back. Now, AI has a PDF, which I'm going to put out in the article about this, so you can see what you can and can't adjust. And with the new trigger, there's really only one screw you can adjust. It's up front here, and we're going to take a closer look at it, and that's the trigger weight adjustment. Now, understand with an AI, the trigger weight adjustment is not big and doesn't go down below 2 pounds. It's actually like 3.3 to 4 pounds for the weight adjustment because it's a two-stage trigger. So you have to look at it that way, that you're not going to get an 8-ounce trigger. You're not going to get a 1-pound trigger out of this. You're going to have to work with the trigger and learn to operate it. As well, a lot of people believe there's some over travel in there, and that's just not how it works. So let's take the skin off and have a closer look at our AI trigger. So I have this ready to drop off here. And here's a closer look at our trigger. If we cock the rifle, and I'll go from this side, you can see there's your first stage. It hits that wall, then it breaks nice and crisp. There is travel behind it. You can crush on the trigger with this. So you want to make sure that you understand what it's doing. For me, I only adjust one thing on these triggers. I move the shoe back to fit me. So I'll take my Allen and I'll move that shoe back. But up front here is your only adjustment. To increase the weight, you're going to go clockwise. To decrease the weight, you're going to go counterclockwise. And they recommend about a half turn at a time. You don't want to overdo it. Like I said, you risk engagement. The first stage in the sear engagement are inside the trigger. They're not user adjustable. Again, refer to the manual that I'm going to post. But they're not user adjustable. In some of the older models, the AW and the AE, you can see there's an angled screw that comes in towards the shoe. That's that sear engagement that you do not want to adjust. People will try to adjust it to make it a single stage trigger. I don't recommend you going that and doing it. If you want more adjustment on this trigger, if you want to adjust it, you can send it back to Accuracy International and they have a jig and they will adjust it for you. But for the end user, the only adjustment you have is this forward screw right here, and that's clockwise and counterclockwise for an increase or decrease. That's it. It's just a learning thing. So you want to go and you want to come in. You get that first stage right there, then it'll break. You don't need any more movement than that. We'll do it again. This side, first stage, break. That's it. Yes, I can bury it and do that. You don't have to. My hand is moving very little. First, break. That's it. So think about that when you're buying an AI, that the adjustment range is about 3 to 4 pounds for this trigger, and that's with that first and second stage combined, and then you're not going to get your 1 pound single stage action out of it. Yeah, there are some people who will fiddle with one and try to get something really close. I don't recommend it. That's when you're going to run into a problem.